Hi everyone, and welcome to Billy Fitzgerald Golf. And tonight we're talking about tension and pressure in the golf swing. The golf swing is an athletic motion, so we need to make sure that our muscles are free and relaxed so we can get the most out of them and the most out of our golf game. Most golfers aren't even aware of too much tension or pressure in their arms, shoulders. You know, a lot of times I feel the head of the golf club, and they look at me like I've got two heads. It blows my mind. I've been teaching for 20 years, and what a new concept to a lot of people this is. And I always say that tension will always trump technique, because if there's tension, I can't get the muscle to work how I want it to anyways. So we're gonna start with the golf club. So all the weight is in the head of the club here. So that's gonna help us determine what our grip pressure should feel like. So the first thing I want you to do is grip your golf club and hold it out in front of you and just make some really big circles. Now, in order to do that, you can see how my arms are relaxed, my shoulders are relaxed, and it's very easy for me to make fairly big circles. Now, as I tighten up my hands and my arms, it gets harder to move the golf club and the circles become smaller. That's because I'm putting pressure here and now my arms can't work. I'm actually fighting against my own arm and my own muscle, trying to get the face to work. That's how a lot of people that come to me play golf. So, what should your grip pressure be? So it's gonna be the most secure in your hands because it's got the weight of the golf club. So, take the golf club, again, put it in your hands, and put it up like this. So if I put it all the way down this way, I can feel that puts a lot of strain on my arm, so that's too much pressure. The golf club's too heavy. Now if I put it up here, it's almost too light. I almost can't feel the golf club. So if I put it right at a 45-degree angle, I should be able to, again, my wrist has got to be soft enough so it can hinge and unhinge. My elbows are going to fold each way, and my shoulders need to turn. So all those things are possible by just feeling the weight in the golf club. Now, yes, you can grip this too lightly. I see it more than you think, but it does happen. And so when you grip it too lightly, the club is going to be wobbling in your hands. And so what ends up happening is that when you swing, we end up grabbing onto it because else we're going to lose the golf club. So again, secure in your hands, feel like the weight in the golf club is in your hands and everything else is relaxed. That's why a lot of times that you see with very good players, what they're doing is the golf club is very active, or they've created a waggle in their swing. So what that does is it's actually getting the face or the head of the golf club in their hands. It softens their arms as well because that's what they want to feel throughout the swing. Now, the other thing that it really helps us understand is sequencing of the swing. So sequencing is how far the head of the golf club moves compared to my hands, compared to my shoulders. And pressure has a lot to do with the right sequencing and the ability to hit it straight. So if you think about it, I'm working with 3 circles here. The first circle is what the head of the golf club is traveling on. The second circle is the line or the circle that my hands are traveling on. And the third circle is the one that the center of my chest is working on. So now as I'm swinging, you can see that the golf club has the farthest to travel, then my hands, then my shoulders. They don't go all at the same speed. So to help you find that and what that feels like in sequencing, I want you to hold the golf club out in front of you and make the face move first. You can see that my chest is barely moving here. Then as I start to turn, see my hands start to work, then my shoulders are going to go last. Again, because they have the least farthest to travel. They need to go at compatible speeds, not the same speed, because they have different distances to move and work. Now, if I've got a ton of pressure in my arms, and I see this a lot, is that the face of the club, and if my shoulder sockets are tight, the face of the club can only move as fast as my shoulder circle can move. That's why a lot of people have a hard time hitting the golf ball anywhere, because they're so locked up that the face of the club can only go as fast as their chest. Now, if we get a little softer in your arms and start to feel how as the face starts to swing back, now my elbow starts to fold and my shoulders start to work, you can see that the head of the golf club is now shifting my weight and turning my shoulders. Now, is that a end all? No, but for someone that's starting out, this is a great concept to work with. And it is a fundamental once we get, even at the expert level in a swing. So you want to start to feel how the face of the golf club, now when I get back here, the face is going to start to move. My chest stays there because it doesn't have as far to go. And then when I get actually to my golf ball, everything starts to line up. So my chest circle, it may be a little bit in front, but my hand circle and my the head of my golf club circle. So now when I start to swing back down, the face starts to work as my shoulders start to work. And then on the way down, see, I'm soft enough in my arms so the face of the golf club can start to work. And my hands can start to work down where they need to. And so I have the ability now to hit the golf ball much farther. Because now I can use some levers and I can use the weight in the golf club to swing and speed up the face. So, one drill that always helps me is right hand off after impact, especially with shoulder pressure at the strike. So what I want you to do is make some practice swings and feel anytime after the strike your right hand comes off the club. So we don't have a lot of shoulder pressure at the moment of impact. Most people, in order to hit this golf ball or in order to hit it far, they lock up their shoulders as soon as they get to impact. The minute you do that, you're slowing the club down. A tight muscle is a slow muscle. So we're going to hit this ball right hand off after impact. So anytime after impact, let your right hand go over the golf club. So that's one way to feel how your shoulders get a little softer at the strike. The other thing that we can do, I'm going to cheat for a second. This is a heavy club, so it's about 5 pounds at the end of this club. So as I swing back and forth, I can feel the weight in the golf club. And that's what I want to feel. Now, if you don't have a weighted club, you can take this club, turn it upside down, and start to feel the grip in, back and forth, back and forth. So I can start to feel how soft my arms are. Now if I turn this club back around, the weight in the golf club is very heavy now. Now I can start to feel how relaxed and soft my arms are, and I can start to feel the right sequencing of the swing. So hopefully that gets you started on why we need to feel the weight in the golf club. There's not a lot of pressures in your arms and shoulders. Again, we need our hip sockets to move. This is an athletic motion. So we're going to do a little bit of chipping and we're going to work on rhythm to continue our talk about having good pressure and correct pressure in the golf swing. Now we're going to talk about finding the right rhythm through your grip pressure. So what do I mean by that? Well, when you make a swing, you want to feel like your arms and your shoulders are soft, and they want to feel that they're consistently soft throughout the swing, as well as grip pressure. If those things tighten up throughout the swing, and I especially see it in the transition, then we're probably a little too quick and our rhythm's a little off. So what you can do is make some practice swings and swing back and forth. So you can see it's a gradual addition of speed on the way down and through the golf ball. So if I were to get quick, if I got here and transition too fast, you can see that I can feel that in my pressure, or I can feel that in my arms, my shoulders, my grip. Everything has to tighten up or I'm going to lose the golf club. So one thing that you can do is make some practice swings with your eyes closed and feel the golf club. You'll get a sense of where you need to be at the top of the swing. If you're tightening up at the top, give it a second and make sure that you can come back down without squeezing the golf club. So again, make a few more swings. Okay, pretty good. I'm going to do my best not to feel like there's any pressure change in my swing, especially at the top. Okay, so not bad. So make sure that you're paying attention, especially in the transition, of what's happening with the pressure in your golf swing to have excellent rhythm. Now we're going to hit some chip shots using soft arms, especially soft wrists, so we learn how the golf club unloads in the swing. So what do I mean by that? Well, as the golf club swings back, your wrist is going to hinge a little bit. Now on the way down, you want to feel like the weight in the golf club is moving down and goes down to the ground. This is how we get a consistent hit every time. Now we can use this for any type of shot. In my opinion, maybe at the beginner level to try to get the golf club into the ball, we say hit down into it. But as we spend a little time with golf, I think that we can leave that behind and just say, make your arms soft, let the shaft of the golf club unload. Listen, this golf club wants to do this. We want to use gravity. So if I drop this club, it's always going to go down to the ground. So when I swing, I don't have to force it down there. It wants to go down there. If I have the right grip pressure and arm pressure, the shaft is going to load and unload, load and unload. So I almost have to do very little. That's what we're trying to do. Very little effort and maximum output of what we're trying to do. So we'll get in our chipping address. Load, unload, load, unload. So I'm just feeling the weight in the golf club and how it loads and unloads the shaft. Load, unload. The other thing that you can think about it is that when I swing back and forth, I can feel once I get right down into the strike area how the weight in the golf club pulls on my wrist joint and it pulls on my arm and it pulls my arm straight. Load, unload, load, unload. So again, get ready to go here. Get your grip right. Lean left a little bit. Load and unload. So my bottom out point almost never changes because gravity doesn't change. I'm not trying to hit down into the ball. As I lean left, so the ball's on the downward part of my swing circle, I swing back and through. There's not a lot of wrist hinge, but the weight in the golf club goes right down to the ground. So try this even in the bunker, pitching. I know it'll help you clean up those shots and clean up your bottom out point. Like and subscribe to my channel, Billy Fitzgerald Golf. Want to take a live lesson from me, or you have a question? Visit me at billyfitzgeraldgolf.com. And thanks for watching.